Make a motion to table that, we just table it.
Just table it.
Okay, I just table it then. Okay, county councilor.
I have 2 executive sessions that I need today. One is for the preliminary discussion of acquisition of real property. I'll need the 3 commissioners, myself, Rob Harrington, and Susan.
Okay.
And probably 10 minutes, and there could be potential action after that.
Make a motion to go into executive session under case A 75-4319B6 for the preliminary discussion of acquisition of real property. For that reason, 3 commissioners, Susan Bancroft, Justin Meeks, and Rob Harrington for 10 minutes. We'll return here at 9:26.
We possibly could come back out and ask for additional time, maybe.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. It'll work.
I don't know if it's
Well,
working
I
or
think
not.
you're there. I think the other screen's down.
Make a motion to resume normal session with action, I guess.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Make a motion, we give Commissioner Beth the authority to negotiate the acquisition of real property up to $125,000.
I second it. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. We just did it.
Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to figure out how long we need to go into our next executive session. Commissioners, I'd ask for a 15-minute executive session to discuss personal matters of individuals not elected. We're going to be talking about specific employees, their job functions, their performance. We're going to be talking about quite a few things with regards to about 7 or 8 employees. We'd ask for Dave Bruner and Susan, myself, and the 3 commissioners.
Make a motion to go into executive session under KSA 75-4319B1 to discuss personal matters of individual non-elected personnel to protect their privacy. Approximately 7 different employees and job function, performance. Be 3 commissioners, County Councilor Meeks, Susan Bancroft, and Bruner is the chief of.
Dave Bruner, yeah.
What are you the chief of? Okay. EMS director, sorry. Be for 15 minutes. We will return here at 9:44.
There, second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
discussion to resume normal session, no action.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I don't know if he's done or not. Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
The first thing business that we need to take care of is a lease agreement. Ascension Via Christi has asked for an extension on their lease for another 1 year. And I have a letter here from them.
This one you sent to us, wasn't it?
Yes.
Thank you for sending those early.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've already read it.
okay.
I make a motion to allow Chairman Harris to sign the lease extension with Via Christi Ascension, the 1-year lease agreement, which they have an option in their contract to, I mean, they had that option to extend that, and they're
Second.
exercising their option.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The next topic is the state set-off agreement. We had talked about this late in the year, last year, about doing something at our landfill that gives us the opportunity that if someone doesn't pay their bill, to basically send them to a collection agency. Working with the state, basically what happens is when someone does a tax return, and if they're getting anything back, they'll take it from that tax return to pay back the county. So that's what this is. This is just the application.
Yep. And I read this as well, but you sent it out early, did you?
Yeah.
Once again, okay.
And then the next thing that I want to review is we're finally kind of getting down to the end of 2021 of closing out some of that information. Still working with the treasurer's office to clean up some accounts there. But we would like to request some transfers from some funds. Would like to request $20,000 to be moved from the appraiser's fund over to their reserve fund. $20,000 from the election fund to the election reserve fund. $30,000 from noxious weed to a noxious weed equipment fund. $20,000 from road and bridge to special road machinery. And then $50,000 from special bridge to road and bridge special improvement. And then general fund, the clerk's office had some money left over in her budget, and so she knows that she's going to need some election equipment this year, so she's requesting to transfer $8,000 to her election reserve. And then general fund to the computer equipment reserve, $20,000. And then off to the right, I have all the statutes that allow for these transfers. I'll need a motion on making those transfers.
Susan, these are transfers, so you haven't got to the year-end carryover yet.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And all of these funds, even though we're making these transfers, there is still a excess of cash carryover in those funds. So,
And it's something we do every year,
Yeah.
and it works out well,
Yeah.
Appraisers on the reserve, they've been able to save their money and buy the vehicles, which is a good deal.
Yeah.
And, election equipment, stuff is getting old and it's gonna have to be replaced.
and I have spoken to every one of the department heads to verify that these numbers are okay.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
It's kinda nice to see that, noxious weeds got money to transfer this year. Normally we're paying them.
That was a battle, wasn't it, Lynn?
It was. I'll make a motion that we approve the transfers as indicated on the handout that Susan has given us.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And so below that, preliminary numbers, these are not final numbers. I just want to kind of just show where we may have some concerns. The general fund, the overall bottom line budget is okay. However, I wanted to show there are a few departments where we exceeded the budget. I'm going to shut this door. The county commission exceeded their budget by about $9,400. County coroner by $7,700. County attorney by $10,000. And then district court exceeded by $43,000. However, in 2022 for the district court, we are going to reduce their budget by that amount. Some of this is just not understanding the budget law and cash basis law. And so in our first department head, we really talked through that. And when an expense is obligated in a year, it has to be booked in that year. And so we are looking to implement a purchase order system here. That'll help us at year end so that we are making sure that we are expensing in the correct year. That has been some of our issues in the past in our audits. And then the sheriff's budget will be exceeding by $5,000. If there's a couple way to handle this, you can just show it as a budget violation that they've exceeded their budget by $5,000, or you can give me authority to move that expense to the general fund to offset it. But one thing on the sheriff's budget is we had projected a cash carryover of $124,000, and they're going to start out the year with a $69,000 cash deficit. So the actual cash carryover is only going to be about $60,000. So they start out with a lot less money than what we anticipated. So that has to be made up somewhere throughout the year, or you're going to continue to compound the problem. And so I had talked to the sheriff in our first department head meeting. We made some corrections at year end, and so this was a little bit worse than what we had anticipated. So I just wanted to kind of give you a briefing of what we're seeing as we're closing down 21.
Question would be for me is this the only violation we're going to have?
No. You will also have violations from the distribution that happened where there was an overage sent to the taxing entities. There's like almost 50 funds where they're running in the negative, and those will all be violations. And there's nothing I can do about that. That was one of the things that I came to you and said, we can't fix it.
Can't fix the
So,
violation.
yep, those violations will happen regardless of, there's nothing to do to fix them.
Not good, second year in a row.
Huh? No, it's not. It
It's
really
not-
isn't.
Not good practice.
We've been there before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I suggest we move the 5,000. We don't need that budget violation, as you mentioned, Susan.
Mm-hmm.
So make a motion.
If I move that expense in at the end of the year, you could always, make that a reversing journal entry. So basically, you charge it in 21 to the general fund, and then you reverse it, and it charges back to the sheriff's department in 22.
Kind of like the district court.
So that way it stays there. Yes, yeah, it's very much like that. Mm-hmm.
Works for me.
Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to move the 5,000 expense to the general fund from the, to the sheriff's budget, I guess.
And to have it repaid like they did district court.
Yeah, and we would just do an adjustment for the overage the following year.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
And that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Susan.
Great.
Public comment.
Susan, so this is for you. I want to continue this discussion a little bit on these violations. Sorry. On this distribution to the taxing entities, I don't know if it was last week, probably the week before. Who does those distributions?
County treasurer?
The county treasurer does those distributions. And do we have issues every year?
No.
Not every year. So this was a special circumstance, and so next year we shouldn't be having that particular violation. Correct. Okay, so what about the other violations that happened during the audit? Are those all getting cleaned up and addressed and
Slowly.
slowly? But we still will probably have some,
Yes,
okay,
you will definitely still have some.
okay. Well, that bothers me, but anyway, I'm not an accountant and I can't offer any help. So anyway, just wanting to ask. Let's see, the other topic, and if, whatever. I'm really still confused on what public comment is for and when I have to be on the agenda. So anyway, in the paper, last Monday attended out at the hospital. I just thought an awesome thing. Everybody presented themselves well. Kind of had hoped for a few more details as far as, I guess, what they hope to see, those terms of primary care or acute care or whatever can get lost in public definitions sometimes. But overall, I felt like it was I was glad to be there. But in the paper, reading about this county obligation of $2 million, was that something negotiated during this whole time with Noble Health? That was the first time I had ever seen or heard or knew about that the county was going to have an extended or more obligation of $2 million. And is this on top of the $800,000 already given?
Yes. It was in the cooperative agreement that we signed at the beginning. It was
Okay.
in that very first document we signed with them.
The $2 million? Okay. And I have no idea what I want to ask, other than why? What can you speak to why that was needed, or what, or because I don't understand. Obviously, I don't understand the business world and especially
Sure.
that and all that.
I don't know if I can speak to why. I think is more so as a we're going to be as committed as they are, and
Okay.
that we will have skin in the game. It will be Bourbon County Community Hospital, not Noble Health System. It's going to be Bourbon County Community Hospital. We will have skin in the game at that point. And I think that, I'm assuming that is why they wanted to do that. Our $2 million, well, all in all $3 million, I guess, with the 8 and the 2, is less than 10% of what they're going to spend. So.
Okay. Any discussion on where that's coming from on the county side?
I guess I have my opinion.
Okay.
My opinion is we have the money, the Mercy donation.
Okay. Yes, that was in the paper. Yes.
And
yes, I did read
we
that.
have ARPA funds. We have.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Which actually totals 2.3. I written it down somewhere. I don't know, 2.3 million or something.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. That's all, guys.
So basically, it would not come from. At this point, depending on how you look at it, we wouldn't be robbing from the property tax to pay.
And okay. When do they expect those funds?
I don't know that there's a time frame on that.
I think it allowed for over a 10-year period.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
okay,
something that
okay.
we can either write them a check, I guess, or we could make them payments, or, you know, my understanding, and I can't speak for them, actually, I'm just not going to speak for them.
Yeah, I understand.
So anyway, to answer your question, that was in the original cooperative agreement that we
Okay.
signed with Noble.
Okay.
And my opinion, and it's strictly my opinion, is by doing that, we have skin in the game.
Yes. Is that cooperative agreement available as public record?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
One comment on the hospital business, and it's an easy one, is Allen County subsidizes theirs $1 million a year. So, and if we don't have a hospital here, you're not gonna have growth in this county. So you wasn't short-sighted on that. Now, my second one, this is a kudos. The road and bridge crew, and I haven't been here in a while, on 95th Street, the one that jogs over to Old 54, they did an outstanding job putting in whistles. It's been needed done for a long time.
Good.
And so I want to give kudos to the road and bridge for what they did through there.
Thank you.
I know I've talked to Eric on the culverts, and they have been doing a great job of catching up on putting culverts in.
Thank you very much. More public, Matt? Elected official comment. Seen one went that way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Laura. I think Laura. Well, maybe not.
Yeah. Nothing? County Commission comment.
I'm on a comment I have. I really want to thank Clifton for all the hard work he put in on this noble health effort. You know, it's another step forward on getting this hospital up and running. And it's been one of the things I've said on radio before, that I stayed optimistic on this, and I'm still optimistic.
I am too. And I would like to second that, because no one has any idea how many hours Clifton's worked on this, him and
That's
Rob.
true.
Endless hours, and they've done a great job, and folks, I'm confident we're gonna get a hospital, and that's great. So, thank you, Clifton.
But I appreciate it, but there is 3 of us, and Rob's in the other room. So.
Oh, yeah. Rob, I'll give Rob
Susan,
kudos every
Justin,
chance I got.
mean,
We can say
you know,
bad
it's
things
a-
about Rob.
I mean, it's all of us. But one thing, Ann, I will say, as far as any further details or whatever, the fact of the matter is they're not 100% done still with the feasibility study. Now they're far enough into it to realize that there's a path forward, and that they're going out for RFQ and those things to revitalize the building, I think is the terminology Drew used. But as far as I think the end product, I think I think they have an extreme. I think they know what that end product will be, but they want to get that feasibility study 100% done and hand it to us before they make a whole nother big splash. You know, I mean, it was more that there is a path forward, and we're going to do it, and you know, and it's a partnership with us, and I can't stress that enough. That goes back to the money we are putting in it. It is a partnership with the county, with the community members of this county. You know, we expect the buy-in from our county residents. So, but I think you'll see more, you know, just over time, there'll be more, and as soon as the feasibility study's done. I mean, my understanding is like 600+ pages, so you'll have plenty of time to read through that. But I think there'll be more information coming in the future. I know there will be, but you know.
Any more discussion of, or that you're hearing from them, or in this time frame, where would it be, community hearings or public, you know, conversations meeting at, someplace for people to come in and, where does that fit in? Because way back, those should have already been happening. And that's okay that they're not, but kind of when do you have an idea of when, of what? Okay.
No,
What
I
needs to be
can't,
done
I
before
can't.
they can do that, before they will do that? or-
I'm assuming, I mean, that there was kind of some emphasis on finalizing the feasibility study
Okay, okay,
before they want to do a lot more.
okay,
I mean, it's,
okay.
Well, I'd like to add, I had 2 comments this week from citizens about how short our meetings are. But we have a very good agenda, and we move forward, and we get things done. I mean, I'm willing to sit here 2 more hours if the public wants to come and visit, or all day if we need to. And I'll be back tomorrow if we get some public participation. But for us to sit here for 2 hours and look at each other, I mean, it benefits no one. So I welcome the public to start getting involved, coming to our meetings. We want to know their thoughts, their interests, what they would like for us to do in the future. You know, we do work for the citizens of Bourbon County. We represent them. So,
I want to make a comment on that. if
Okay.
I can. Susan and I talked about this about 2 weeks ago, maybe possibly having every quarter. We've done this before, maybe going out and having hearings or a commission meeting in the city of Bronson, maybe one, once every 4 months, once every 5 months, or going to Uniontown. I mean, just to have that ability. We've done that before. The last one we had, I mean, Ann was there. It wasn't a huge turnout, but I think it's important to maybe try it again.
certainly.
Thanks, Ann, for showing up.
I appreciate you have to be there.
I would be open to that. I don't have no problem with that, so.
we don't have to, there's nothing that says we have to do that. So I want to make that kind of, I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but there is nothing that says we have to broadcast these on YouTube. We are doing that as a favor. I mean, it's fine, but I'm just saying, so if we have a meeting out in somewhere else in the public, we don't have to broadcast it.
If it's open to the public, you don't have to broadcast it.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes,
On meetings and things like that, when you change meetings and stuff, you're not required to put it on the radio or anything, you just have to put it on, I guess, on the computer or telephone log. I don't know.
That,
How
Have an
public
agenda.
is notified.
just
Has
have
to
to.
go on the agenda.
But I would echo what Jim said. I mean, I'm not willing to sit here for 2 or 3 hours and talk about nothing. We are, I don't know, I mean, I think it's apparent we 3 are fairly aggressive commissioners, and we want to get stuff done, and we want to get it done as quickly and as efficient as possible. And I guess if that's, some people don't like that, I don't know, but I personally am not gonna change my, yeah. I mean, it's all right.
So
I
that
agree,
everybody can
yeah.
hear me. No, I have greatly appreciated the momentum that this commission has brought, and I think that's caused everyone else to step up to the plate.
good.
I've seen Eric, do a phenomenal job, and Ashley, and bringing Susan on, and everyone, the sheriff, I think is just raised us all to a little bit higher level, and that just makes you more efficient. And so when I come and I only have to be here for 45 minutes, I feel pretty good about the rest of my day. So
Yeah,
anyway,
sure, yeah.
appreciate you guys.
Okay. Well, thank you. I do think we're moving forward. We have a good group of commissioners. I believe we have Susan on board, and Justin and Eric's doing a fantastic job, and of course, all of our elected officials, of course. Let me look around the corner here. And of course, Rob Harrington's a team member. So we got a lot of good things going forward. Bourbon County's changing for the better.
And it didn't happen overnight.
It didn't happen overnight.
No,
And
and
I-
I would say that I think Lynn has worked on this for years.
Yeah.
I would say to get to this point, possibly.
Well, like I said before, 7 years ago,
Yeah.
when I stepped in, we were $450,000 in the hole.
Yeah.
It took quite a while to work through that, and it took quite a while to get the pieces in place. And when Jim and Clifton got on board, we was able to accelerate things because we did bring Susan on. Susan is very capable of the financial side. I don't know, Jim, we spent 4 years of battling budgets every year,
Every day.
every day.
Every day,
And now that we've turned that corner,
yeah.
and, you know, we don't have to sit here and
Right.
discuss the budget.
Yeah, and I'm confident that Susan will do everything in her power to avoid violations. I trust her.
I
So-
really do too.
So, we will get there. It's gonna take a little bit, we're gonna get there.
Keep in mind, it came in like December.
Yeah.
We're working through, and I'm giving great cooperation, I think. You know, it just, we gotta change the way we're doing some of our things around here, but good cooperation.
Well, you know, the other part is, and I'll say it right up front, Susan walked into a mess.
Oh, that's an
And she's done a
understatement.
phenomenal job of getting things in line. You know, some of it has to do with training because people were new. Susan's been through the process, and I really feel that we're turning the corner.
Yeah. Is Rob still out there?
Rob who?
Rob who? Used to be here. Rob, you got a moment?
That's another one.
This is our first meeting since you had the microphone at
Yes.
medical buildings. Thank you for a great job.
Oh, it's a team effort. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
You took the lead and Clifton got right there with you, and we're gonna have a hospital because your guys' leadership and your efforts, endless hours, and the group, the community, it's gonna be great.
Clifton kept me sane.
And that's another thing that happened over time.
Yeah.
It was a 6-year process to get that ship turned around to where we're in a position to be highly competitive in the region with our economic development.
Yeah.
There were a
And,
couple
and
days
I
where-
have to commend the Bedco board, now ready, for stepping up and taking a challenge and bringing one like Rob on board to get this done. And it was, like I say, it was a 6-year process.
Well, I appreciate it. We love it here. And like I said, there were a couple days I didn't want to leave my house, but Clifton called me and told me to get up and let's get to work. So, but it's been a great, I'm glad it happened and looking forward to what else.
Thanks, Rob.
Big things are coming. Anything else, folks? Your motion?
Laura has something. but-
Morning, Laura.
I dropped the ball on something.
That's okay. I was asking about to get some blinds in my office. I was trying to, when we did our office, to just not do the blinds. When we took down the blinds, they weren't repairable. David had said they weren't, so I just put up some curtains. And Ann can contest. Actually, she's the one that was working back there for quite a few hours, and the sun happened to be really, really bright that day. And there was just no way of moving that computer without it being the sun coming in her eyes. So I didn't know that I had extra money left out of my budget last year because of some of the reporting. So I would like to, I just want to, because we like the natural light coming in, and it's only where the computers are that the sun reflects. So I would like to get bids from Ruddicks, which is where the other ones in the courthouse have been, about getting blinds put up there in those two south windows.
Can we take that out of, I think the main thing is, can we take it out of the sales tax funds?
Good.
Otherwise,
Take it out of the sales tax funds?
yeah, okay, did you say you had money left over to another transfer?
You could, if that's what you want to use as your
Well,
2021 budget?
Well, I thought it was too late to do that. I did turn in quite a bit, but I don't have it in my budget for this year, but was thinking that it was too late to do that since this is February.
Yeah, it is, I mean,
It's too late to do that,
I
so
can do whatever the commission wants me to do. We can take it out of the general fund, or we can take it out of the sales tax fund.
Whatever you recommend. So
I haven't
I'm
got
okay with either one.
bids yet.
It's not gonna be a lot of money.
No, it's
so-
not gonna be a lot of
No.
money either way. So.
Yeah.
It hopefully shouldn't be, or I'll go try to find them 2 of them.
I'll just do the general fund until future notice. That work?
I'd be okay with general.
Yes.
'Cause, you know, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to stop dipping into the sales tax funds sooner or later,
Yeah.
because it's gonna be gone.
It's gonna be gone. Okay, very good,
Okay,
thank you.
So do I need a motion for that, or, no? Okay,
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Anything else, gentlemen, ladies? I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn for the day.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashley.